Welcome to episode 4, Empire Hour Podcast. Sammy here, along with one of my really good friends, now coach at Empire, Jensen.
What's up, guys?
Welcome, man. Jensen, we go back a long time, man. I really wanted to bring him on here because I've honestly known Jensen ever since I've lived in Raleigh. I mean, did you join Orange Theory in 2020 or 2021?
It was 2021, somewhere 2021.
Yeah, it was probably very early 2021,
Yeah.
I assume. So, backstory, when I was the head coach of Orange Theory down here, Jensen walks in to take his first class, and it was the mile benchmark day.
Yep.
I remember that. It's probably in the winter, and this dude just comes in and runs like a 5-minute mile.
It's 5 flat.
5 flat, and I was like, okay, you probably really enjoy it here because you like to run, and honestly, you'd probably be a hell of a coach one day. And then here we are, sitting, 2 feet away from each other at Empire, 4 years later.
Yeah, 4, almost 5.
Yeah, almost 5 years later. So, really excited, to have him on the team. Jensen, why don't you kind of give everyone a little bit of a rundown of, like your background, right?
Yeah.
Like from, let's call it, where you're from, the sports you played, how you got into fitness, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm from New York, actually, too. Not the city. I'm from, way up north, Plattsburgh, if you've ever heard of it. Most people haven't.
He's from deep up there, man.
Yeah,
deep, Canada, we'll call it.
Yeah, pretty much Canada, yeah. People are like, when they say upstate, I'm talking about where I'm from. They're talking about, Albany. I'm like, that is just not upstate.
Albany's downstate to you. I think Westchester's upstate to me.
That's like the city.
Westchester's the fucking city.
Yeah, but so I'm from way up there, and I went to school for fitness and wellness. I played soccer in college and all that all the way through, and I still do. But yeah, I think just going to school, I always knew I wanted to be in fitness. I've always loved helping people. I've trained soccer for my whole life pretty much, on top of playing. And I think that was just something that was always in the cards for me.
Yeah.
And I went to school for fitness and wellness. So it really just went in line. And when I moved down here, without a job or anything like that. I just kind of did it.
Same. It was great.
Yeah, right. We made it.
We're just
going
going
to
raw dog this shit and see what happens.
Right. And I joined Orange Theory because I was actually not supposed to stay here after that summer.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going to go back and do one more year of school because I had another year of eligibility for soccer because of COVID. And I was going to go back and play
COVID
that.
year.
Yeah.
So jealous of you, bro.
I had a COVID year for sure.
I didn't get that COVID year.
And I ended up staying. And that's the reason why I did Orange Theory, was just because I was I'm here. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I was it's a good intro to fitness and my first job there.
I feel like when you're a dedicated athlete, especially after college, right? The high of being an athlete all the way up through college, when you're done, man, it's just fuck.
That sucks.
What the hell am I gonna do now?
100%.
I can't join a men's league baseball league because of how competitive I am.
Yeah.
It's just and I played one men's league baseball game 4 summers ago. No, actually a little bit more than that. It was probably before 2020, right after I got done playing. And I almost got kicked off the field because of how competitive I was. I was I can't do this. So the high of when you're an athlete, I feel like there's not much else that you want to do after school. You essentially try to find anything that you can do to stay in that field.
Yeah, definitely. I think training is a great way to do it, but also coaching and all that. I miss, I want to start coaching soccer again because I miss that and just being more involved in it. And I think, one of my biggest, I would say, motivators or mentors growing up playing soccer was one of my coaches, and he took me under his wing from when I was 14 and it really just developed me crazy.
Absolutely. Talk to us about the process of going from an Orange Theory member to becoming an Orange Theory coach. I know that I'm the one that essentially approached you and said, hey, I think this would be really great for you. Talk about the transition from being a member to being a coach. Is it difficult to essentially coach people that you were once members with? What was that process like?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult. I would say it's more not caring what they think of you, because coming into it, you got to know not everybody's gonna like you. And that's just what it is. It's the truth.
Heard that.
And the truth hurts sometimes, but it's you got to just take it and just go with it. But I think going from obviously I was a member at Midtown, so I knew a lot of people there already. Even though it wasn't my main studio, even though when I came over there and trained there, I still knew a lot of people. And honestly, I was like sometimes a little
comfortable.
No, I wouldn't even say I was a little shy at first because I was like, I know them. I want to make a good impression, right?
I think the first time I like watched like one of your classes, I think one of the things I said to you was, "Hey, like, it's one thing to talk too much, but it's another thing to like not say anything."
Exactly.
I was like, "Hey, we need a little bit more mic time here."
Yeah.
Other than that, it was great.
I think all I said was just every like interval. I think that's all I said the whole time. Yeah.
Push.
Yeah.
All out. Here we go. Yeah. So. But yeah, no, like how did it really become a passion for you coaching through Orange Theory?
I mean, I think that Orange Theory really was just more of like a bridge to where I knew I wanted to be, right?
Absolutely.
I think that this is gonna sound bad, but Orange Theory was fun at first. And then when I realized I was better than that, it was just until I got that next opportunity.
Doesn't sound bad at all, man. Knowing your worth is huge.
Yeah.
You know, knowing your worth is huge, and I think it's important. And Orange Theory again. I said this in the last episode. Orange Theory is a great place for people to go and move their body. It's a really good starting point. If you are a big time runner, Orange Theory may be your thing for a long time, right? Totally understandable. I think Orange Theory is meant, not just as a member, but as a coach too, I think it's meant to get you off of your feet and onto something bigger and better, right? So what'd you coach for, what, 3 years there?
2.5,
Yeah, all right, so 2.5 years, I know you're the head coach of the OTF at North Raleigh studio. Tell me, because I actually really struggled with this at first. Tell me about like the transition from essentially just being a coach and then everybody being on the same level as you as a coach and then going from a coach leading up to a head coach role. Talk to us about that.
I think it was like more, you're friends with all these people, all the trainers there, and you don't want to be that jerk that's like, I'm above you now. You got to listen to what I say. And I think it's just trying to find that like happy medium where it's like, listen, we're still friends and I still like you as a person a lot, but also I need a little more respect than, you know, whatever.
Establishing authority. How do you feel like the respect thing goes around? Like I'm a huge believer in that respect is earned and never given. How did you have to change your ways as an Orange Theory head coach from just being a coach?
I think you just got to lead by example. Like you got to show up every day, coming with your best foot forward. You leave whatever's happening in your regular life outside of those doors.
Fucking preach.
Nobody lives a perfect life. Everybody's gonna have a bad day, but when you come to the door, you gotta fake it till you make it. That's like the biggest thing I live by. Even if I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna have a good time regardless.
Yeah, because you're in charge of everybody's 1 hour out of their day that they get to themselves, right? Like, yes, people essentially come for the workout, but they are also coming for you too, right? So,
and it's like, you know, you coming in the door, sometimes you're having a bad day. People that are taking class, they're here to make their day better. Why would I want to make it worse for them?
100%. Okay, so fast forward, right? Orange Theory, okay. Days are over in Orange Theory. You go to Find a Way Fitness up in Wake Forest. How is that, I guess, transition from essentially a corporate group fitness to an independently owned group fitness gym?
Totally different vibe, like extremely different. I think it went from like, you know, Orange Theory is very structured. You come in, you know exactly what you have to do. Like I'm pretty sure if you and I could probably say we could memorize an Orange Theory template in 30 seconds.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it was pretty easy, right?
They said, oh, you should practice at least a few days in advance. I literally sometimes looked like the morning when I went in. I was like, 100%. All right, base push all out. Here we go.
Right. You know, I would do that. Once I got comfortable, I was like, I'm not looking until I get there. But yeah, I think it went from that to being more unpredictable, right? Going to Find a Way was like, you write your own workouts on the days that you were training.
Of course.
But you know, at Orange Theory, you had maybe 3 or 4 classes a day that you're doing. There you're doing from open to close. Whatever day you opened, you did all the way through. And yeah, it was fine. Did it suck sometimes? 100%. I mean, you know, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going from 4 to basically 6:30. that's a long day.
It's a freaking long day.
Yeah.
I mean, I still do it on Mondays here, like I open and close, and I get here, you know, at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes I leave at 8.
Yeah.
But like it's again, I think it involves, you know, like the environment that you're in, right? Like you want to be at a place, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like when it starts to feel like a chore, it's like, okay, what's next, right? Am I really enjoying myself? Because again, right, you have to enjoy what you do. Talk about the transition of, okay, you're being really. I'm not going to say too comfortable in Orange Theory, right? But okay, like you have been there for years at this point, right? Going to a different realm, did you really know a lot of those members off the bat? Like, how was that?
I knew nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I went in there pretty much not knowing a single person there, and it was like almost starting all over again, where I know nobody here. I got to gain everybody's respect, and I got to be the best version of myself while I'm trying to learn everybody's names, while I'm trying to train a different style, because it's a 100% different style than Orange Theory, right?
It's kind of like a burn boot camp style, I would say. Like,
yeah, I would
just
say it's
a
more
lot
towards
of
like
yeah.
And then just, you know, without really having any guidance, there was no like, it was really fight for your own there.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
there was no, let me help you or give you any tips or anything like that. So
yeah, absolutely, for sure. And you know, I give you a lot of credit for just saying, okay, like this is how, you know, because you did become, you know, the head coach there eventually, right? You know, you kind of said, all right, this is how we're going to do things here, and you know, you did a good job at that place, man. It's awesome. And then talk about, okay, so go to Find a Way, right? There for a couple of years. Was there any downtime between there and coaching at Empire? I don't think so, right?
not even, I just when I went on vacation, that was it.
Right. So, okay, so talk about, okay, now Empire opens the doors, right? Obviously, you and I have always been close. There was a time where I know we didn't talk a lot, but like we've always been boys, right?
Yeah.
What kind of led you to Empire and, you know, wanting to coach here?
Yeah, I think it was, you know, just the fact that obviously we've known each other for a long time, so I wanted to give you my support, even when I wasn't even in consideration to be a trainer here. It was more just like, you know, I want to support you and I want to be there if you ever need me. And I just think that that transition was really good, and I wanted to be part of something that was better than anything else here. And I think Empire is it's honestly the best gym in the area. So you know what you're going to get out of it every single day. You're going to come in, you're going to get a good workout in, and you're going to feel better than you did coming in the doors.
Absolutely.
And I think I could not say that at every other gym here, you know. I could say I'm going to go in, I'm going to get a workout in, I'm going to probably feel like I need to go do more when I leave.
Yeah. When it comes to being a former athlete, right, would you say that what we do here is a lot of the style of training that you used to do? Because we obviously run a lot of styles, right? It's not CrossFit, but you do see some CrossFit intervals, right?
Yeah.
EMOMs, you know, like that kind of stuff, right? Talk about how does it kind of tie everything, you know, together from, okay, what you learned as a college player, what you learned in Orange Theory, to what you learn now, right? Like just kind of talk about like the evolution of your knowledge when it comes to fitness. Just you know, like being at all these different spots, and you know, obviously being, you know, a college player too.
Yeah, I mean, I think going through college, having trainers there, having mentors in college and teaching you all this new stuff, from going from that to Orange Theory to Find a Way to now here, I've just learned so many different styles, and not even only just training here, but also like now training for the High Rocks. You're learning a lot of new stuff, right? And
A lot of fun stuff.
I think my next goal after the High Rocks is going to be a triathlon. So it's also just adapting to new surroundings. And I think that here we do so many different styles that it keeps everything fresh. And not only that, but it's also working so differently to any other gym, where I think that's why a lot of people see such great results here, because you're not doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
And you're switching it up and doing the different progressions every month, and how we're doing it, like this year or this month we're doing isos and stuff like that. Just working your muscles differently than you would at any other gym. Like, so if you go to a box gym by yourself, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna do the bro split, push pull legs, you're probably gonna do the same stuff every single day, right?
Just crushing chest.
Right.
Just annihilating presses and flies and push-ups. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's like super important too when it comes to the programming of Empire, right? I truly think a lot of people out there make programming so much harder than it has to be. It's really simple, right? You have to hit your compound lifts, and you have to improve in them week after week after week, right? Yeah. So that's why, you know, our progressions with our compound lifts are anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks long, right? So yes, you're essentially doing something different every day, working different muscle groups, but you are working a lot of the same
You're working towards
movements, right, over the course of the weeks, right? Your squats, your presses, right? Your lunges, right? Your rows and everything. You have to be able to improve in those movements, and you have to rest in between sets, right? If you ever do if any of you out there ever do a High Rocks on Wednesday, chances are it's programmed by this man right here, so you could thank him for that.
I do like writing High Rocks workouts, I'll tell you what.
What would you say to someone out there who's looking to get their feet wet in the industry as a whole, doesn't really know where to start, wants to be a coach, wants to be a trainer? What advice would you give that person?
I mean, obviously, first things first, get certified, you know. But I would say don't be shy to just walk into a place and talk to somebody. Like, if people were to walk into here and talk to any of us trainers or you or whoever's here, we're all going to give them advice. And, you know, I think the fitness industry is misunderstood in a big way, because I think you're looking at people and you're like, oh, that trainer's a douchebag, or he just looks like an ass or whatever. But in all honesty, I think a lot of trainers are probably some of the nicest people you ever meet, and they want to help you. That's literally what we want to do, is help people. So I think if anybody were to come up and just be like, hey, I want to get into the industry, what should I do? I know for me, I'm going to help you, and I want to help you, right?
I think the thing for me is you have to love what you do.
Oh, for sure.
You have to love what you do. You have to be able to, you know, when it comes to coaching, like, yes, it is extremely repetitive, right? Think of here, if you're doing, like 2, 3, 4 classes in a row, you are coaching the same class, right? But you have to have the passion for it. And I think that's really one thing that gets overlooked in the industry, is I think people see the opportunity that they could work for themselves as a personal trainer. But what they don't see is the reps that go into programming. What they don't see is the reps that go into getting to know the person that they are coaching. I mean, I will say, I think every single staff member, every single coach here is unbelievable with names. I think it goes super, super unnoticed, where people walk in the door and it's just really cool to have your name known by every single staff member here. There's so much stuff that goes into coaching, and I just think that if you are looking to start coaching, you only need one gig to really get started. You can go to Orange Theory. You could go to Orange Theory, F45. You could go to O2 Fitness and say, hey, I think I want to start, like training some clients. All you need is a shot, right? It's like the same thing with, like essentially getting this place open. All I needed was one yes from a landlord to open up a spot, right? All you need is one person to say, yeah, I would love to have you on my staff as a coach. Boom. From there.
But I think, like, going back to what you said is about loving what you do. If you do not love fitness and you don't love helping people, I would not recommend anybody to be in this industry, because it's not easy. Like, it's not an easy job or not an easy path, but if you love it, it will become fun and it will become easier for you.
Got to be a product of it too.
For sure.
You have to treat your body as essentially your own marketing, right? I'm not saying that you have to be the most jacked or lean person out there, but you definitely have to preach. You definitely have to work with what you're preaching, right? You got to be the example, and it's literally written on the wall here, right? Be the example over there. It's like,
I think that's a big reason why a lot of us come in here to take class. Like, I try to come in almost every day. I know you take class a lot, and Joey and everybody here.
I try to take class as often as I can, man. Some days it gets lonely here in the afternoons training on my own, but
it's nice to be in class with members that you're seeing almost on a daily basis, so that way they're like, oh, he's actually working out here too. Like, we're not just here. We trust the product, and that's why we're here.
Absolutely. Last thing I'll end with this. What is one thing that you think separates Empire from all the other group fitness places in Raleigh?
I mean, I think the community is amazing. I don't think you can find a community like this at any other gym in the area, for sure. Like you said before, like, we all know a lot of people's names here, if not everybody's names. I'm still working on it, guys, so give me a break. But yeah, I think that's something that, like, going to Orange Theory, you could go in there and be blind for at least a month or two before people are going to be like, hey, what's your name? You know?
100%.
So I think, like, going to box gyms like that or whatever it's a lot different than here. People here want to get to know you, and they want to be your biggest motivator or somebody that pushes you.
Yeah. One more question here before we close, and I think this is really important. I think it's really important for the members to know this, right? It really takes a certain skill level to coach at Empire, because you have 48 people in the room at once, right? You're working with a barbell. You're working with a lot of complex movements, right? Kettlebells, a lot of core work. How do you think your years of coaching has allowed you to evolve to be able to coach an Empire class? Because yes, one thing I always tell people is that let's say, you take an Orange Theory class, for example. Yes, it is really hard to coach an Orange Theory class. Really hard because you're timing the treadmills and you're also having to coach people on the floor as well, right? You're essentially keeping track of your stopwatch, right? You're yelling, base pushing all out, and you have to coach people on the floor. Right. Really hard thing to do. But talk about like the skill that goes into coaching an Empire class, because you do have a lot of people at different skill levels and you have a lot of complex movements. Like how has that been, like a challenge, but at the same time a big time, like reward for you?
Yeah, I mean, like this is where I'll give Orange Theory a lot of credit, and I think that helps a lot, just because like there is so much going on at Orange Theory, right? Like you said,
a lot of shit, man.
Yeah,
treadmills, rowers, floor,
right.
like a lot of times you're literally timing everyone at once too.
Right. So I think that multitasking is like, that helps a lot. But I think in here, because you're trying to focus on a lot of people at once, especially when it's like strength day where we have, say, back squats and deadlifts over here, right?
Yeah,
you're trying to spend most of your time on the back squats and the deadlifts to help people, because those are probably two of the more dangerous exercises that you're going to be doing if you're doing it wrong, right? So you want to be able to give your attention to those people to make sure that they're doing it right. But sometimes I feel for Joey, like just starting out training, like having 48 people in a class, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
Joey's like, how do you do this? And I'm just like, listen, man, it takes reps and reps, but no, Joey's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
He's a lot of improvement. It's awesome to see. And, I think everyone here does a really, really good job of just, what's my standard, right? You walk into coach a class, all 48 people in that 1 hour time span feel like they got a one-on-one personal training session.
And I think that comes a lot from like us as coaches being confident and not being afraid of going up to somebody and either one, correcting their form, two, hey, what's your name? Like if you don't know their name, just stuff like that. Like that, sometimes, some days I'm like, I'm not really feeling like I want to go up to anybody, or not like go up to anybody, or like just like put myself out there more than usual.
Yeah.
But as a trainer, you got to be like, you got to get over it and just do it.
Absolutely, man. You couldn't have said it any better, gents. Listen, man, proud of you. For how far you've come, man. It's been awesome. Just, like building this bond, and really glad that you're here at Empire. So
I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Episode 4, episode 5 coming up next week. More guests along the way. Thanks for tuning in. That's a solid dap right
That was
there.
nice.
Really good.